What is your favorite animal food mascot?
Hey, yo, welcome back to the High Kicks podcast. How we doing, everybody? Chad is just sitting there chugging margarita mix.
Finger guns.
Whoa, we're halfway there.
Don't get us copyrighted.
Oh, can't finish that. Okay, well.
All right, who wants to answer first?
Me.
Go ahead, Chad.
Me. The Pirate's Booty Bird.
All right, so the Pirate's Booty Bird isn't the mascot. The pirate is the mascot. And the bird is a supplement.
You're the supplement.
What's that even mean?
You're just filler, bro. You're just here for...
Look, all y'all want to talk about Big Pirate here, but I'm just saying, man, it's not complete without the bird. Okay, that's not okay. It's not a pirate unless it has the bird. Okay, it's a symbiotic relationship that you people just seem to really disrespect for no reason.
Okay.
Symbiotic?
Symbiotic, yes.
Yes, they both benefit from each other. That's what he's trying to say. That was the proper term.
Nah, I'm baffled that Chad is using scientific terms to describe fucking pirate booty. But
I'm just shocked that last week or 2 weeks ago when I brought up mantis shrimp, I didn't use the term capillaries, but you live and you learn. Carl.
Yeah, you don't know ball.
Carl, what's your I've forgotten more about mantis shrimps than you will ever know.
Tony the Tiger. Can we move on with this? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you guys?
So
like,
even after what happened on Twitter, even after the Twitter arc.
What was the Twitter arc?
He had a whole thing on Twitter. Like he got hacked, or like the account was just given to a different admin, and they've been posting unhinged shit for years.
He's not the Burger King guy. Speaking of which, fucking, I saw this one dude driving around with the Burger King crown literally sitting on his dashboard, and I was just like, yo, that's wild nowadays. Like,
all right, so I'm gonna jump in and give my answer. Tony the Tiger is objectively the correct answer, but I can't really take that. Because Carl just did. Unfortunately, the Kool-Aid Man is not an animal. So I'm going to go with Chester the Cheetah because he just looks like a really chill guy.
Did you really
I was going to say
the Kool-Aid Man was a fucking animal?
No, I said unfortunately the Kool-Aid Man isn't an animal. So I have to go with Chester the Cheetah.
If one of you guys said the Twix rabbit or the what's it
I was
called?
thinking about the Twix rabbit, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, if one of you guys said that, I actually would have said probably the worst thing I could think of in that moment.
I'm really, really happy I didn't say that.
All right,
the podcast lives for another week.
Shout out Toucan Sam. Let's run it. Champions League first, boys.
Unreal. Absolutely fucking unreal.
So the first leg of Inter Barca.
We don't need to talk about the first leg. We talked about that on the last episode. Let's just jump right in.
I want to fucking mention it because that match will still go down in the record books. This second match will also. It was absolutely fucking absurd.
I just think that whole tie, first leg, second leg, Barcelona, Inter Milan, it's the best Champions League final I've ever seen. Like
semi-final.
What?
Semi-final.
That's what I just said. It's the best Champions League semi-final I've ever seen.
Oh, I heard final. My bad.
No, but it, like, literally insert meme here. Pure cinema. Like the best. I've never seen anything like that. Like, I know we said, and I'm gonna say that I was absolutely wrong. When Chad was saying last week that the second leg is going to be better than the first, and I was like, no way. I stand corrected because holy shit.
I mean, what you said, Brian, like, it was just like, what Hansi Flick and parking the bus just not in the same sentence. And unfortunately, that's what cost them in the end.
That is true. That is true. It had everything. It had bangers. It had potential bangers. It had shots off the post. It had incredible saves from Yann Sommer. Szczęsny made some very good plays too, but holy fucking Yann Sommer.
Yeah.
Like I said it in my TikTok that I posted about it, but it wasn't as good of a performance statistically, but it was almost as impactful of a performance as Thibaut Courtois against Liverpool.
He was balling the fuck out.
I quite literally remember when we were watching this live and they showed the stat of like XG saved and they only threw up 0.97. I think every single person in the lobby watching that, I'm not going to
lie, it might have been 0.93.
Like, I mean, yeah, that's the thing.
Like, I'm checking this right now.
Rare XGL.
Yeah, so goals prevented 0.97. Like, I'm sorry. What?
He quite literally denied the okay, so I understand like where the statistic is coming from. It's just XG saved, like on target. But dude, I mean, Lamine Yamal has like a hat trick against any other goalkeeper on the planet.
Yeah.
And I mean, I feel like only Courtois is capable of stopping like those kinds of shots. Like Yann Sommer,
I would say, given recent performances, I would throw Donnarumma into that conversation.
Yeah, that too. Yeah,
we'll get to that later. But
the greatest, one of the most underrated like signings or swaps of a player that we will see will be going from Andre Onana to Yann Sommer.
Like,
yeah,
it just. I've been high on Yann Sommer for a lot of his career. He's a excellent goalkeeper. But this was another level. Some of the saves that he made, some of the angles that he cut off, the positioning, the footwork, the movement, it was picturesque and everything that you want to see in a goalkeeper. Just outrageous.
The greatest performance by a goalkeeper who allowed 3 goals ever.
Potentially.
Really say that. Like, I know, I can't think of another.
I can't think of another either. But before somebody comes at us and is like, "Well, there was that happened," like I can't think of anything. Oh boy,
Doofenshmirtz did it in '73. I don't give a fuck. I watched Yann Sommer.
Happy Gilmore accomplished that feat no more than an hour ago.
Exactly. Like I am so happy. I'm going to take a celebratory chug for this Inter team, man, because God damn it, do I deserve it.
Cheers.
Absolutely, man.
To Inter.
Absolutely.
To Yann Sommer.
To not just Yann Sommer, this whole Inter team that I
Denzel Dumfries. To a Serbi scoring an equalizer with gray in his mustache.
I don't think. Okay, I was quite literally crashing out in real time before I explained.
That a Serbi goal was insane. That a Serbi goal was bar none the craziest part of the entire match. You think everything's coming to an end. Like, Barca are up 3-2. Like, I understand Inter are threatening, but like, you don't expect what ends up happening. Perfect cross in, a Serbi bangs it near post. It was insane.
I will admit, most likely a foul occurred. Don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Rule of cool.
Rule of cool.
Rule of cool. If you allow a center back to beat you inside in the box and set up a shot top corner, you don't deserve to win that game.
Hell no. Hell no.
I quite literally was crashing out. Like, I was on cloud 9 when they scored the second goal. I'm like, guys, we're here. Crush Talk Sports Inc. to the moon. I feel like the Donald Trump stock market in the span of 90 minutes, in which I quite literally like went through the highest of highs and then crashed in real time and then immediately shot back up to the moon. It was the funniest. I was so livid in that second half. I'm like, they're fucking doing it again. You know, it's like Inter did in 45 minutes on two separate games what the Celtics took 48 minutes to do. Quite literally the exact same shit.
Yeah.
I have not felt this way about a match that I watched live, and I don't mean live in person. I just mean like live on TV as it was happening since the World Cup final, honestly.
Yeah.
Like this we will look back if Inter Milan beat PSG on May 31st, we will look back at these two matches for this semifinal tie as one of the most iconic Champions League wins of all time.
Yeah.
I could talk about this forever, like genuinely, like it had everything.
It had everything. It had a 37-year-old scoring. It had a 17-year-old scoring. Genuine question, like I don't know, that might just be one of the widest gaps in goal scorers in a game in Champions League history, right? I can't think of a time where like a 37-year-old scored in the same game as a 17-year-old.
Well, Lamine Yamal didn't score in the second leg.
You know what? I kind of forgot about that because Yann Sommer was that good. I blame half the bottle that I was drinking. But anyways,
what's the alcohol percentage of the margarita mix that you're drinking? It's not even a margarita.
So hold on. So it's Rancho La Gloria, ready to drink margarita with wine cocktail, pink lemonade.
Oh, so it's a ready to drink margarita. It's not margarita mix. Okay,
yeah, it's made with 100% de agave wine, real lime juice, natural flavors. Just add ice and enjoy. 13.9%.
That's nice. That's nice.
Okay.
That's nice.
What else is nice?
What?
That Lautaro Martinez Marcus Thuram combination.
Oh hell yeah.
It's so good. They're such different strikers who play off of each other so well. It's just
we could literally talk about this Inter side all day. Like they were very impressive throughout the entire match, and that's not even anything to knock against this Barca side, because like Chad was saying and Brian was saying, Lamine Yamal could have had a hat trick against most goalies this match. Sommer went off, and everyone else on this side.
What TikTok of yours are you holding up, Chad?
It is Inter's UCL to lose.
What date did you post that?
April 15th.
Nice.
Mark TL3. Barcelona lose their first game all calendar year, and now all of a sudden these takes are coming out. Ollie footy. Too reactionary.
You're just calling people out in your comments now?
LMAO, Barca and we're just playing to not concede 5 goals. Inigo and Pedro will start. Baldy comes back and they'll be fine.
Anybody else you want to roast?
Islamic dinosaur emoji. Inter almost
wait. Is that the dude's username?
Yes, Islamic dinosaur emoji.
That's incredible.
Well, it has this dinosaur. It literally is the name isn't dinosaur emoji. It's quite literally a dinosaur emoji.
Okay.
Inter almost lost to a weak Bayern. And then, hold on, I'll just give the guy with the period for a name because he doesn't really have a name. We haven't conceded more than 2 goals in a year. Oh, that's the Arsenal fan. Oh, never mind. Ha ha. Ha ha. Ha ha.
So before we move on to Arsenal, PSG, I just want to point out a little bit of the hypocrisy from Hansi Flick. So after the match, he went out and said every single 50-50 call went Inter's way. It's very sad. A month and a half ago, Hansi Flick said, "We need to stop talking bad about referees. It is disrespectful." Like, bro, you can't say on record we have to stop saying negative things and disrespecting referees and then come out and say that shit.
That is the most...
Pick a fucking side.
That is like something every FM player has done. Every FM player is like 1 week in a press conference. They're like, oh yeah, the officiating was fine because it favored my team. The next week, this guy shouldn't even be alive anymore. Get this guy out of here.
I saw a post announcing the referee for the next El Clasico match, and the comments were so funny. Half of them were like, oh, Real Madrid have announced their 12th player. And the other half of them were like, oh, Barcelona have announced their 12th player. Like, go into a game thinking about your side. Don't go into a game, and this is for the fans out there, don't go into the game already ready to blame the goddamn ref. We had Refs Need Love too on this podcast, and he talked about how referees get too much shit. Don't set up a referee to get shit before the match even happens. Like, come on.
I already do that with the Celtics every single game. I don't need everyone else doing that in Champions League matches.
That's fair.
Like, if I see Tony Brothers refereeing my game, I'm assuming I'm cooked.
Yeah. That's fair. Who's the guy that, like, Chris Paul is like 1-30?
Scott Foster, the extender, quite literally has a nickname. I feel like those guys don't need love.
All right, so
other referees do.
I do want to move us on to the other Champions League semifinal. Far less exciting. Did feature a phenomenal goalkeeper performance from Gianluigi Donnarumma in his own right. But I just...
So the other tale of the matches were how good the matches were and everything of the sorts. I think this is more Arsenal came out flat-footed. And I realized that I had 19 shots. They really weren't threatening. Throughout the entire match, despite any effort that Arsenal were putting on, guess what? It didn't feel like they were scoring.
It just so here's the deal. 19 shots, 4 on target.
Yep.
11 shots from PSG, 6 on target. I don't care if you're taking that many shots if you're not putting that many on target. It's just, yeah.
I'm going to call Bukayo Saka the Justin Herbert of Europe at this point, because get this guy an actual target and he is breaking the assist record in a single season one day, and that striker is going to pay off handsomely for it. This guy puts the ball into the box in a spot where no defender is, but it bounces to a defender eventually because nobody is there to anticipate it. And I think eventually your lack of striker talent. I understand you can win games strikerless. It's never happened.
You can't win a Champions League strikerless.
It's never happened. You can't win a Champions League with someone like Marino at striker.
Correct.
No.
I mean, Chelsea could do it with, what was it? Mason Mount and company. No, right?
Oh,
yeah.
Kai Havertz was their striker.
I mean, yeah, Kai Havertz
kind of is a striker, though. I mean, he's like a
kind of
cam / striker. He's more of a striker than Mikel Merino.
Yeah.
And Leandro Trossard. But I don't know. This opens up a couple conversations. I got 3 little Arsenal tidbits that I want to talk about. First one. How much longer do they keep Mikel Arteta around? It's been 5 years since they've won a trophy. He's been the manager for longer than that. It doesn't seem like he can get it done. Second one. If they don't win a trophy in the next couple seasons, is Saka gone? If they don't win a trophy in the next couple seasons, is Saliba gone? Because it's one of those things, and I don't want to piss off any Arsenal fans out there, but the rumor mill has already started with Real Madrid being interested in Bukayo Saka. We are 2 years out from his contract expiring, and this is how Real Madrid do it. They announced that they might be interested, and they put it in the player's head, they put it in the media's head, and whatever, and whatever, and whatever. And they're going to try and tell him to run down his contract so they can get him on a free. And if Arsenal don't win a trophy within the next 2 years, he's gone. I'm not even saying he might be gone. I'm saying he's gone.
I'm going to say this. I feel like this Arsenal team, you could say it was a choke, 2 years ago? Was it 2 years ago or last year?
For what, in the Champions League? Or
in the Premier League?
Both years.
Both years, honestly? Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like, but even then, it's just they're facing quite literally super squads. They're facing super teams. And I think what Arteta has done in terms of at least with what he has been given, like the blockbuster signing of this, the two blockbuster signings or like the two blockbuster players for this Arsenal team is a central midfielder who doesn't show up in big games.
Correct.
Mm-hmm. And Kai Havertz.
Correct.
Yeah. Like
I'm just saying I've seen
a season. I need a season with someone like Gyökeres at front. And then I can be like, is Arteta ball actually cooked?
I'm sorry, but he's had enough time to go out and get a striker.
Yep.
At that point, then
they should have had Vlahovic by now.
I'm going to pivot this over to then there's something wrong with his recruitment. We've been talking about how Arsenal need a true striker now for the last 4 fucking years. Go out and get a goddamn striker. It's also just we have seen managers at big clubs who have been more successful get sacked.
Yeah.
Like Ten Hag won 2 trophies in 2 years at United and got the boot. Like at what point, I know we rip on Arsenal for bottling and whatever, but I'm sorry, if Spurs win the Europa League this year, we got to put Arsenal in that when are you going to win a damn trophy conversation. And I personally don't think Arteta's the guy. I also think he suffers from what I'm going to call Pep syndrome, where he overthinks in big games and makes the wrong decisions tactically.
I get that. I don't know. I just feel like actually the real question is how influential is Arteta in signings? Because I understand that he's the manager, but I feel like it might just be an ownership thing too. They might just be like, we're not going to go out and spend 75 million on a striker. Here's Kai Havertz, I guess.
Didn't they spend like 60 on Kai Havertz?
Yeah,
they spent, but it's like I feel like Kai Havertz was not brought. Personally, I don't think Kai Havertz was brought to be the primary striker. I think I feel like the more usage was for him to be a quasi Bruno.
I mean, fair, but it's just one of those things where it's always their year and it's never their year. And so far, Mikel Arteta's time at Arsenal has been incredibly disappointing. And like, I'm not going to lie, Chad, we've been talking about this kind of jokingly, and we'll get into it when we preview this week's Premier League matches. But if they blow it at the end of the season...
Oh, yeah, then he's gone. Yeah.
And let's say even if they only qualify for the Europa League, he's gone.
No, he's gone. Oh, yeah. No,
I agree.
But I just feel like it's... again, I just think it's genuinely the lack of someone good enough to anticipate Bukayo Saka's crosses.
But does that come down to management not trusting him to make the right signing, so they're overstepping him? And at that point, if you don't trust your manager to make the right signing and you're jumping in as ownership to make the right signing, maybe you don't have the right manager.
And they should have fired him already. But
look, I think they probably should have. I think he's been there too long. It's the same shit every year. And I don't think he says the proper things to the media either. Did you guys see the quote from what apparently he said after the match?
No.
Mayhaps.
So
but I'll let you say it.
I made a video on it, but I'm just going to read it to you guys right now. We're much better than PSG. Look at the 2 games. The best player on their pitch is their goalkeeper. Like, I'm sorry, you are not. You can't make that statement.
You start a rapist at midfield.
Jesus.
I mean, come on, man. Like, you quite literally have the ghost of the goon out there consistently, man. I
understand that, but
the funniest shit.
So, like, outside of that, I'm just.
Yeah.
They were not the better team. Just because you have more possession, just because you take more shots, doesn't mean you're the better team. PSG were the better team in both of these matches. Luis Enrique's tactics were better than Arteta's in both of these matches. Just because Donnarumma played fantastic, and was he the best player on the pitch? Sure. But just because the keeper is the best player on the pitch doesn't mean that the opposing team is better.
Yeah.
I don't think personally he's a reputable and successful enough manager to come out and make that statement.
Oh no. I giggled when I saw that in real time. I'm like, oh, he just said that.
Like, I don't think, like, don't get me wrong, if like Ancelotti came out and said that at some point, or like a Pep, or like, honestly, even a Luis Enrique, a Jose Mourinho, a Jurgen Klopp at some point, like, maybe you can overlook it a little bit, but to come out and make an asinine, ass-backwards, incorrect statement like that when you haven't won jack shit, it's not good. And somebody commented on the TikTok video that I made about it, and they were like, you know, he was just trying to motivate his team. The motivational quote is, we felt like we were the better side, and we feel like we should have got this one. Not, we were better, their best player was their goalkeeper, and that's why we were better. It's just salty, and he looks like a crybaby bitch.
Especially because they lost. Like he was a crybaby bitch.
I don't know. I don't think he's it for Arsenal. I haven't thought he was it for Arsenal for quite some time now. I would hate to see Arsenal crash out of the European places, but I think a scenario... Why? No, hear me out. Because I'm a nice person. I don't, like... They've been great for the better part of the season. It would be unfortunate for them. But I think it would be a blessing in disguise because it would get him out of there, and I think they need a different manager. Simple as that.
Okay, that makes a lot more... I'm just like, buddy, what are you talking about? That's the funniest possible outcome.
Oh, it's definitely the funniest possible outcome, but it would still suck for them. Like, I from the standpoint of, they deserve Champions League football next season for how well they've played in the Premier League this season. I know they've had their ups and downs, but they have been in second the entire season. To see them absolutely fall apart and, let's say, lose to Liverpool, lose to Newcastle, and draw Southampton and fall out of the European places.
We need a Southampton loss on the final day of the season to give that final Champions League spot to Forest. That's what we need.
It's just...
that would be...
It would suck. And
that would be the best thing ever.
I would feel for like Kyle and some of the other Arsenal fans that I know, but like it would get him out of there, and I think he needs to go.
I never feel bad for an Arsenal fan.
And what's funny is I will still predict them to win the league next year.
What?
I'll still predict them to win the league next year. Regardless of who the fuck it is.
But also, we've been focusing a lot on Arsenal. I do want to focus a little on this PSG side.
Can we focus on the man that got a
who?
A Summertime Blues by Masayoshi Takanaka edit, Desiree Dewey.
I was gonna say Desiree Dewey is disgusting.
Desiree Dewey, I'm just saying, made a Champions League final before Lamine Yamal.
Fair.
We wanted to say this last week that Lamine Yamal needed a villain, and I will gladly embrace Desiree Dewey as his opposite.
Desiree Dewey is disgusting.
He's fucking gross.
He's so quick. The ball sticks to his foot like a magnet. He can shoot. He can pass. Like, did either of you guys know who he was before this season? Chad, I'm sure you did because of playing FM. But
wait, what was the question?
Did either of you guys know who Dewey was before this season?
Yeah, no, he was like the signing to get out of run. It was like
in FM.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily pay as much attention to like the young talent and like the Wonder Kids type stuff, but like he's nasty. He's going to be a staple for this PSG team for a long time. A long time.
2005, baby.
That's ridiculous.
2005, baby.
That's ridiculous.
We have an 05 versus 07 rivalry in 2025. Guys, are we officially cooked? Is there nothing to live for anymore?
I have a question for you guys. It's a two-part question.
All right.
How old is Gianluigi Donnarumma, and how old does it feel like Gianluigi Donnarumma should be?
He's like 24, and it feels like he should be like 36.
He's 26 years old, and I feel like he should be like 37.
That European final feels like a decade ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so that was 4 years ago.
Halfway there.
He was and I'm gonna click on his player profile here.
I quite literally saw that, and I'm like, all right.
Yeah, he was 22.
I knew he was good. I knew he was good entering that final, and I'm like, all right, if he like falls out in this like shootout, I'm like all in on Donnarumma stocks. God, he's so good.
He's so good. He is going to be the best goalkeeper in the world for years to come. I'm not sure if he might be currently, but there's people that can.
The winner of this final will be, I think, considered best in the world.
I think it depends on how they both play. So there's a difference in like you can have the best season of any goalkeeper, but not be the best in the world. I do think best in the world has something to do partially with like what's ahead, what's whatever. Like, I mean, Yann Sommer might be the best goalie in the world this season, don't get me wrong. Donnarumma is going to be top 1, top 2, top 3 goalies in the world for the next fucking decade.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's insane.
I've come up with the most vile transition ever.
Oh, God.
Where does he compare to European finalist Andre Onana?
So
I'm just saying none of you fuckers believe to me.
So you guys are going to fucking roast me for this, but it is what it is. You might not. There are some mistakes and some goals that Onana has let in this year that and do with this what you want. I'm 100% confident that I would have saved.
All right, you stopped me from drinking when you finish that sentence. I thought you were going to defend this guy live on air.
No, he has made some mistakes this season that I am confident in my ability as a goalkeeper. I would have fucking saved some of them.
Is this the worst European final in the history of the sport? I'm willing to fucking go there.
So it might be based on where they are in their domestic table.
Fuckers do not deserve to be here, man.
But I will tell you this, it will be entertaining as fuck.
You're not going to like my take.
What?
It's going to be wrong. I think Tottenham dick slapped them so bad.
But that will be entertaining as fuck.
Obviously.
Watching Manchester United get their dick slapped makes me laugh because Carl gets sad. And I have new friends in the Trailer Park Sports Discord server who are Man U fans. And like, Chad, imagine hopping on Discord and just laughing and just
no, I'm gonna be there. I'm going to laugh at them live on air. I'm gonna laugh at them as it happens.
Grizz isn't gonna be on, but Matt will be there.
I'm sorry, Carl, but you have a coward as a coach. Honestly, okay, have you guys heard the TikTok trending sound where it's like the Krugs and it's the scene where they're chasing the egg and it's that music, but it's like a remix. And the main character of the Krugs is like, I have an idea. Man United in Europe quite literally play like the Krugs chasing the egg. Someone needs to create an edit of I have an idea with that sound. That might be the most brain rotted thing I'm gonna say tonight. But someone needs to make an edit of Man United in Europe versus Man United in the Premier League.
Hold on, Chad. I just need you to point out, or I need to point out that you told us that the bird on the Pirates booty bag is the real mascot, and we said no, and you said that's what Big Pirate wants you to think, and you're saying this is more brain rot than that?
I mean, let's be honest, Big Pirate's kind of my own thing. Brain rot is me being supplemented something else, slop that I have consumed.
Okay.
Big Pirate is just my own 6-letter word kicking in. Right? Is it 1, 2?
I think 7.
No, it's 6 words.
Oh, I don't.
Letters.
I don't know what you were trying to say then.
A-U-T.
Oh yeah, it's 6.
Yeah.
My bad. I can't count. I'm only really good at counting when money's involved.
Carl, what are your thoughts?
I'm gonna go to bed. Fucking, it'd be that time.
All right, so obviously everybody should know what we're talking about right now, but Spurs beat Bodo 5-1 on aggregate. Man U Brazil Athletic Club on aggregate. I do
what have
kind of
done as a sport to deserve this.
I do kind of find it funny that like whatever player that was on Bodo came out and was like, I'm not gonna say they suck, but and then they lose 2-0 at home. Like, nothing against Bodo. They were incredible. The fact that they even got to the semifinal of the Europa League is an unbelievable achievement within itself. I personally think it's the biggest achievement any club has made in Europe this season. Just given how small they are, how small their city is, where they play, whatever. They had no business being in a semifinal round, I should say, that had Tottenham Hotspur, Manchester United, and Athletic Club Bilbao. So, hats off to them. This is an incredible season for them. But, I don't know, that comment came back to bite that guy in the ass.
What's fucked is that they're winless to start their season, too. They just started their season.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, because I believe that's how, because of like weather reasons, I believe that's how Norway has a different calendar. They're like 4 games into their season. And they're I'm not winless, they're undefeated.
Yes, they are. They are
in like 4th against a team. I find it really funny that they have a team called Viking. That's my favorite part of the Norway League is
Hey Chad. I would like you I think it's funny that they have a team called KFUM.
Yep, all caps.
Yep.
K-Fum.
Yeah, try and pronounce the team in 10th for me.
That's a Dark Souls boss. Strom's good set.
I don't even know if that's right. But I mean, you can't take away anything from Bodo. Like, talk about a club that had nothing to lose. They lose this semifinal, and it's still an incredible season for them. They win this semifinal, and we're like, holy fucking shit, what's going on here? I mean, obviously, results are in, they lost, but kudos, props, shout out to Bodo Glimt for the incredible European season.
Is the Premier League rigging their season so they can get a higher coefficient?
What?
Think about it. A team like 15th, 16th, whatever the fuck is going to win the Europa League. Do you know the numbers that's going to do on their coefficient? Because Chelsea's about to win the Conference League.
They already secured the spot for the extra spot.
They're another, just like how
the new rules for the coefficient are how your clubs do across Europe in that given season.
Well, their coefficient will be even higher.
Okay, cool. But they've already secured the extra spot, so dumb take.
They're gonna get another spot. No, I mean for the future.
All right, cool. So the last thing I want to talk about before we get the hell out of here is just a little preview of this week's upcoming games for just kind of the shit that matters for the Premier League. Also, I do need to point out, I saw this on I think it was Instagram. It was, where does Arsenal go from here? You want to know where Arsenal goes from here?
Where?
Right to a guard of honor.
That's funny.
Yeah. But I mean, so again, major matches for European implications. Chelsea Newcastle should be a banger. I think so. I think so. It's unfortunate seeing Forest down in 6th. Who do they have left for the rest of the season?
Leicester City. Someone else.
Leicester City, West Ham, and Chelsea. Oh my God, if they beat Chelsea to get into the Champions League.
This is Nottingham Forest.
I'm looking at Villa's fixtures remaining. Bournemouth, Spurs, United, they should win all 3 of those. Bournemouth is going to give them the most trouble. But
sorry, you want a drink? I think you need it.
I'm gonna go the fuck to sleep. Hurry up. Literally, the Prem doesn't matter right now. You're A1, Brian. Why the fuck are we even talking about this?
It's really funny. It's really
funny. European places matter.
Chad shows a turned off phone about God.
It's really funny how I can show this image and we're just not going to talk about it.
I mean, because we were hold on. It's because all we were missing was the here we go. We talked about it when the news broke. We don't need to talk about it anymore.
Hold on, here's another one.
By the way, Chad is showing me pictures of Trent in a Real Madrid jersey. I don't really care. I've already processed it. Cool. He's gonna get fucking cooked by Lamine Yamal and Nico Williams and every other right winger in La Liga next year. But I don't know. It would be so funny if Arsenal fall out of Europe. All right, Chad, put your phone down.
No. Oh, that is such a cursed image. I have to put Chad. This is gonna be real.
That's just stupid. He's showing me a picture of Mo Salah in a Real Madrid jersey.
That's even.
Right,
that's so much funnier.
Back on topic, so Carl can go to bed. These last 3 weeks of the season are going to be a clusterfuck for the European places, and I am so excited.
Oh yeah. I said it 2 weeks ago or whatever.
Yeah,
I'm like,
you did. Great take.
Very much a very serious battle.
All right, Carl just yawned really, really, really hard. So
I've been fucking yawning this entire time. Y'all babbling.
We're like
Carl,
45 minutes in.
If you were stuck in an Elden Ring for 20 minutes, we would have been done already. But no,
Brian was literally your drunk ass was going and getting drinks the entire time, you stupid fuck. And then Brian's dumbass was setting up this stupid show.
Motherfucker, I was doing other stuff.
Fuck out of here.
I can't say that.
All right. Well, while Chad and Carl are bitching about what took us so long, we're gonna get out of here. The absolute cinema of the Champions League was just awesome. I'm excited for the final. Spurs are going to clap United in the Europa League. The Prem table is a shit show at the top outside of the champion. We'll catch you guys next week. Peace.
Balls.